Good morning, y'all. It's Wednesday. We are on day 3 now of Hustle for Muscle 5-day fitness and self-care challenge. You are seeing me in the morning in real time while I am getting ready to do our quick challenge for today. And this is really how I do it. I'm in my real gym clothes. You are seeing me literally not long after I've gotten up, okay? Because around here we keep things real. So on day 3, it's appropriate that we talk about being real because on day 3, our theme is balance, okay? And I've got 2 things lined up today for you for your challenge. One is we're gonna do a plank challenge. And if you know me, you know that I like to do planks quite a bit. We're gonna go over 3 different ways to do them. And if you see behind me, I have a bench set up plus my mat on the floor so that I'm gonna show you options because I know some of you have expressed that you need options for things. So I know we've got a few people with some shoulder problems, we've got some people with back problems, so I wanna be sensitive to that and show you that you can still get all this done despite what your limitations are. And as far as the balance goes today, we're gonna learn the three different ways to do planks, and I showed you a sort of a modified plank yesterday in the Functional Fitness Challenge. But I'm also gonna go over 2 different balance challenges because let me just give you a little snapshot of why balance is so important. I know so many people who are in great shape, they work out all the time, they're very fit, but they have terrible balance. So it is something that should be addressed on its own. And the reality is as we get older, we lose balance, okay? The time that we take to react to something usually increases, therefore making balance a little trickier, okay? So I'm gonna show you a couple of simple things that I do myself almost at least every other day. And they may not be exercises that you see yourself doing every day throughout life, but I can guarantee you that these are simple enough that you can do. They take just a few minutes of your time, and these are things that you can see big, big benefits from, okay? Because think about how many times you literally lost your balance doing something. It might be that you're going downstairs and you lose your footing, or maybe somebody runs into you, or somebody comes up behind you and takes you by surprise. That's the most important thing to think about because that's when balance becomes most useful. We never plan to use balance. We never plan to be in a situation where we're going to be thrown off, okay? And this is why it's important to literally think about how you're going to feel when you get in a position like that and what is going to be your first reaction. And the way to get your first reaction almost like a habit, almost like a knee-jerk reaction, if you will, is to practice it. And that's what we're going to be doing today with the 2 extra balance challenges that I'm going to show you. Now, we're building sort of on the themes that we started with. Monday, we started with root and foundation. Yesterday was more about core and center. Today is more about balance because let's be honest, in life, balance is important. Not just literally from what I just talked about, but it's also very important for you to have balance in other areas of your life, okay? And this is where the self-care challenge of the day comes in, okay? Now I'm gonna give you 2 examples of how you can apply the self-care challenge for today, okay? And in my work every day with clients, a lot of the things that we talk about are what your daily habits are, okay? And they can be small daily habits. But what I find is most interesting in working with people is how up and down the daily habits are, okay? Especially if you're trying to implement something different. And I'll give you an example, is drinking water. And many of you may already get plenty of water during the day, but there are plenty of people that I talk to who have to really sit down and think about how much water they've had during the day. And if that's the case, you definitely haven't been drinking enough. And in our society, we want to reach for the caffeine, we want to hit the soda machine, we want to go out in the middle of the day and get the latte. That's not the same thing as water, okay? So I'm using that as an example today to help bring balance to your life, okay? So one of the first things that I do in the morning is drink at least 2 glasses of water before I even have my coffee. And sometimes what that does is it not only helps to wake you up, it helps to refresh you, you sort of feel a little bit more awake, and if morning's not your best time, then drinking some water in the morning will help because after sleeping for several hours, your body is dehydrated. And if you don't particularly like the taste of water, maybe that's not your thing, try adding a little bit of lemon, maybe some orange, some mint leaves, even basil is good, or strawberries, okay? We're getting into strawberry season coming up soon. Strawberries, even blueberries are good in water, okay? So anything natural that you can give it a little flavor with is a good thing, okay? What you want to stay away from are waters. They call themselves fitness waters, but they're loaded with sweeteners. And anything on the label that ends in OSE is a sweetener, okay? So you want to really be mindful of that. And one of my favorite things is no added sugar. Well, no added sugar doesn't mean that there's still not sugar in there, okay? Same thing with sodas. Now, the one exception I will tell you is carbonated water within moderation is fine. So if you like LaCroix or something similar to that, I'm going to give you permission to do that. You should give yourself permission to do that, but that shouldn't be the only way that you get water, okay? So try, if you're not drinking enough water now, then start there for balance, okay? One of the major habits that we teach here at CU Fitness with balance is to tackle one habit at a time. So if that's your challenge today, great, embrace it, see how you do with it. Maybe in a couple of days, you'll be ready to tackle another habit, okay? And maybe that will be, for some of you, eating breakfast. Or maybe it'll be making sure that you step away from your desk in the afternoon to do something else, okay? Maybe it's cutting back on sugar. Maybe it's cutting back on alcohol, okay? So let's tackle those things one challenge at a time. That's your self-care piece for today, okay? And I like to use the water example because it's simple, it's logical, and it seems to resonate with most people. But maybe for you, it's reversing, say, caffeine. Okay, so maybe it's pulling back to 1 cup of coffee a day, or maybe it's cutting back to 1 soda or 1 diet soda a day, okay? So that's where I want you to focus your efforts for the self-care challenge today. And I still want you to use your accomplishment journal and keep track of what you're doing, okay? It's got to get out of here and out in the open so that not only you can be aware of it, but if you need to tweak it, if there's anything that we need to change, or if something's just not working, it's a whole lot easier to do that than to constantly be thinking about it in here, because you're just taking up valuable space when you leave things in here. And that means less space for other good things to come to you, okay? So let's get to our core challenge today, okay? So I'm gonna briefly show you a couple different planks, and I'm gonna go over the balance challenges with you too, okay? So, and please, let's make sure that you're posting your progress. Let us know. Remember too, if you would rather get your challenge in email, that's totally fine too, even if you're in the Facebook group watching this, okay? So, challenge number 1 is a plank. So, I'm gonna show you on the mat first. So, see, I have my mat right here. So, what I want you to work on is hands shoulder width apart, feet hip distance apart, just like so, okay? All right, so your challenge is to take that plank and start with 30 seconds. Maybe go to a minute if 30 seconds is too easy. But either way, each day, I want you to try to add 10 seconds to your plank, okay? Or each week rather, add 10 to 15 seconds to your plank. Here's your plank number 2, is a step, what I call a step out plank. Check it out, tap out, 1 hand, 1 foot, okay? 1 hand, 1 foot, okay? 1 hand, 1 foot, 1 hand, 1 foot, okay? Plank number 3 is what I call a walking plank. Check this out. Down, down, up, up. Okay? Down, down, up, up. Last plank is a stomping plank. So check it out. Stomp, 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 stomp. Okay? Now your minimum number on your stomps is to get at least 8 on each side. Okay? And here's another option for you too. Okay, is to tap out, and then stomp 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? So feel free to combine your options for plank together if you want to do that. Now, let me show you your options for all that, okay? Here's your bench, okay? So let's say you're at home and you don't have a bench. Maybe using a kitchen counter is an option for you, or maybe using the 2nd or 3rd stair from the bottom of your stairs is an option, okay? Any of that will work even against a dresser or a medium-sized table at medium height. Medium height meaning just below the waist, okay? So check this out. You can still do a plank right here, okay? Wrists should still be under shoulders, feet hip distance apart. Check it out. Tap, tap, okay? You're still getting plenty of core work by doing that. Check it out. Stomp, okay? You could even go with this one. Down, down, up, up, okay? I would not recommend that last one if you're struggling with your shoulders at all, okay? So I would recommend using the option for any of the other ones just fine, okay? So those are your core challenge, your plank challenges for today. Your challenge is to pick any two, okay? I want you, if it's a plank where you're doing a number of reps, like the tap outs, you need to get at least 10 on each side. If you're holding a stationary plank, you need to do a minimum 30 seconds. And be honest with yourself. If that just is too easy, or if you feel like you can do that with with a fair amount of ease, then it's time to move up 45 seconds or even to a minute. But I'm challenging you to go as long as you think you can, okay? So, balance challenges. I've got 2 for you, okay? So check this out. I want you to pretend you've got an object in your hand. It can be a tennis ball, it can be you're picking up a box, it could be a small milk jug, a water bottle, anything fairly lightweight, okay? So you've got an object in your hand. I want you to kick your opposite leg back. I want you to lean forward, 1, 2, 3, and come back to standing, okay? 1, 2, 3, and back to standing. Now, when you lean over, you want to keep your back straight. So tighten your butt. All right, legs straight, eyes focus 2 feet in front of you, but down. So don't look straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, okay? So your challenge is to get 12 of those on each side, okay? One way to make this tougher is to extend the arm to the side. So check it out. Got an object in my hand. 1, 2, 3, okay? And 1, 2, 3, okay? So that's one balance challenge, okay? Here's your next balance challenge, okay? Is to pick up 1 foot, reach up overhead, okay? And come to what I call a star pose right here. Now here's the challenge. You've got to hold this for 20 seconds, okay? So you got to stay right here, 20 seconds, pull your belly in, squeeze your butt, okay? It helps to bend your support leg too to keep you stable, and just stay right here. Hold it if you can hold it longer, that's even better. Okay, but 20 seconds is what we're starting with, okay? So I'm gonna stay here about 5 more seconds roughly, okay? And time. Now, if you can do that longer, I'm challenging you, 30 seconds or 45 seconds even, okay? But you need to do that at least twice today too, okay? So let's recap. You've got to do 2 kinds of planks. If it's a plank where you're actually doing something with it in numbers of reps, you need to do 12 reps. That's 12 of the tap outs, 12 of the foot stomps, 12 of the walking planks. The other option is to do a stationary plank for at least 1 of those for minimum 30 seconds, okay? And then you've got your 2 balance challenges. So let us know how you're doing. Please let us know how you're doing with the self-care piece. Use your accomplishment journal. Remind yourself that you're worth it. You are worth it. But you have to take the time to make sure to tell yourself that you're worth it, okay? Don't say, I'll do it later. Do it now. We're creating balance. We're creating balance by strengthening our bodies, but we're also strengthening our minds too, okay? So y'all have a great day. Have fun with it. Let us know how you're doing, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.